Hello, everyone. My name is Jordan Burdick. I am a senior studying finance and music composition, and this semester I am the team lead for the Oklahoma Funding Accelerator team. The 4 interns you're about to hear from have done incredible work this semester. I have never seen 4 people learn so much and really change so much over the course of just a few months. It sometimes does make me wish we could go back to when they were all a little bit quieter and nicer to each other. Interestingly, the one person who has gotten quieter over the last few months, which will surprise you if you know him, is Joe. And that's because he has just taken the brunt of all of our teasing and jokes. Tammy looks really sweet, but she can actually be pretty vicious. Krista, on the other hand, looks mean and intimidating, and that's because she is. But she did make them wear matching attire tonight, and I have to say they look really sharp. You would think that I would be the referee in the middle of our team, but that has somehow become Oreen's job, and she just supplies me with endless amounts of Coca-Cola so I can just sit and enjoy the fun. But in all seriousness, they have pushed each other and challenged each other this semester, and they have a great presentation for you tonight. So please join me in welcoming Team OFA.
Good evening, everyone. We are the Oklahoma Fundraising Accelerator. So OFA is slightly different than a traditional I-CCEW team because instead of 1 client, we actually have 4. So this semester, each of us has gotten to work one-on-one with a business right here in Oklahoma and help provide unique insights and recommendations for their specific business problems. We would like to thank our fellow Michael Rath, as well as our team leader, Jordan Burdick. My name is Krista Holland. I'm an accounting junior, and I am with Optimal Lifespace.
Hello, my name is Oreen Imtiaz. I'm a sophomore majoring in finance and econ, and my client is Senderide.
Hi, my name is Timidik Belayo Ojekunle. I'm from Nigeria. I'm a sophomore majoring in accounting.
Hello, my name is Joe Riney. I'm a senior finance major from Dallas, Texas, and my client is Max Q.
Optimal Lifespace provides professional organizing services for customers right here in Oklahoma City. What that means is that my client, Madison Tucker, will go into the homes of individuals and will help organize their spaces for both function and design. This semester, I have been helping her expand into a virtual service line. What this means is that instead of actually going into the homes and organizing them herself, she will instead provide coaching via FaceTime or Skype, and then also a deliverable created using Google SketchUp software that shows the client exactly what they should do to organize the space themselves. Some key questions I have looked at this semester is how she should price this new service, how she should market it, and what this will look like for her overall business capacity. I began my research by looking at different potential clients as well as previous clients, and found that this new virtual service will help her reach a new demographic that she currently does not serve. Her current clients are usually female, they're a little bit older, and they're not actually looking to do the work, they're looking to pay someone to do the work for them, which means they're willing to pay a higher price tag of around $360 per engagement. Additionally, these clients don't usually seek out Optimal Lifespace. Instead, it is recommended to them by friends or family members who have worked with Madison in the past. However, this new client will be a little bit different. They'll most likely be younger and have more time on their hands, which means that they're willing to do the organization themselves, but in exchange, they're not willing to pay as much for it. Additionally, these clients can be found shopping at the Container Store, which has just opened in Oklahoma City. And Madison already has a partnership with them, which means that she is able to go into the store and market her service to these new clients. Finally, through interviews and surveys, I found that these new clients were willing to pay around $145 for this new service. Now, this breaks down into a 66% profit margin, which is $95. The $50 in costs can be broken down into 2 pieces. The first is the labor cost. So either Madison or a contractor that she pays will be receiving $25 for this hour of coaching. And this could be more than 1 hour and could be 2 or 3 hours in coaching, but for the sake of conservatism, we will stick with an hour per engagement. The other $25 in cost will come from outsourcing this deliverable. My research throughout the semester showed that learning Google SketchUp software is extremely difficult, especially when rendering 3D objects. And it would take up a lot of Madison's time to learn this new software, as well as any other contractor who wanted to offer a virtual service. Instead, it is much more cost and time efficient to hire a freelance software designer to make this deliverable themselves and to pay this designer $25 per deliverable, which again leads to $95 and a 66% profit margin. Now, using this cost and profit structure, Optimal Lifespace can expect around $30,000 of profit by the end of year 4. Considering this is a new service line that hasn't been seen by any of her competitors, this is an extremely high number for just 4 years of service and a pretty small startup cost at the beginning. As you can see in year 1, costs are slightly higher, and that is for the initial time and marketing investment that would go along with marketing this virtual service. Additional, it is important to note that although it shows $30,000 in this model, this is by no means a limit. Since this service is virtual, Madison would never need to actually go to the houses of these clients or even meet them, which means that she could serve clients in both New York, California, and still Oklahoma. So moving forward, I will continue to validate these recommendations by completing a few more interviews and then finalizing an implementation timeline so that Madison can begin marketing and serving these new virtual clients.
The Social Club is a combination of a vintage boutique that sells unique and handmade items, ranging from home goods to jewelry, and also a salon. At the moment, there's only one store located in Norman, but within the next few months, there'll be another one opening in Oklahoma City. My client is Dana Scott, and she is the owner of the shop section of the Social Club, alongside Erica Smith, who runs the salon aspect of things. Now, the Social Club is seeking to increase sales. So throughout this semester, I've been working on answering the question of how inventory can be better managed in order to increase sales in the long run. Well, the Social Club also sells a vast selection of items ranging from home goods to jewelry, and most of which are actually handmade by Dana Scott, the owner. So in order to minimize per unit holding costs and also increase profits, analysis of past financial data and survey results show that the Social Club should discontinue the vintage furniture line and also designate about 4.5 hours each week to making more jewelry, at least 10 pieces a week. But the question is, why more jewelry instead of more home goods, for example? Well, combined with the fact that jewelry has a high turnover rate and also a low production cost, it contributes a substantial amount of the annual profit at the Social Club. In addition, it's also a very small item. So in total, jewelry items only occupy about 10% of the wall space at the Social Club. So in other words, it costs the Social Club about $20 a month to keep every jewelry item at the store. But why should the Social Club stop selling vintage furniture? Well, it takes more than a few months to actually sell a piece of vintage furniture. And in addition, it also occupies about 20% of the ground space. In other words, it costs the Social Club about $160 a month just to keep the furniture pieces in store. And for these reasons, the Social Club should discontinue the vintage furniture line. Well, according to data and also financial analysis, a typical customer at the Social Club visits both the salon and the shop, and they visit typically every 3 months. So it is safe to assume that most, if not all, items at the Social Club during the first 3 months have been seen by all customers. So the chances of selling unsold items after the first 3 months are actually very slim. In order to correct this problem, I've created a discount schedule that says that 35% of the selling price should be discounted after the first 3 months, 50% after the first 6 months, and if the item remains unsold at 9 months, then it should be sold at the cost price. It should be noted that implementing this discount schedule will affect a huge amount of the profits of in the short run. However, analysis from survey results and also customer interviews show that the Social Club could potentially earn a 27% increase in annual profit, bringing the profit after 1 year of implementation to about $60,000, which is a lot. So for these reasons, the Social Club should implement the discount schedule. Going on from this, the Social Club should focus on setting the customer base at the new store in Oklahoma City when it moves in January. Now I'm handing over to Joe, who will talk about MaxQ.
MaxQ is a thermal shipping control systems manufacturer based out of Stillwater, Oklahoma. They're built on quality and efficiency, with their patented installation being tested at different ambient temperatures. Basically, they make a refrigerated box. Right now, they're focusing on their blood operations. They're partnered with close to 200 blood centers and hospitals all across the nation with an unprecedented zero loss of date, unheard of in the shipping industry. For my project, I've been looking to create a market entry plan into clinical trials. The three biggest questions I've looked to answer over the course of this project are who MaxQ should target, how they should target them, and how to enter this market once these decisions are made. First, after many interviews, I found that MaxQ should target the Contract Research Organization market, or CROs. CROs are basically the middleman between large pharmaceutical companies and those who actually run the clinical trials. They get to be in charge of some very important decisions, such as shipping, as well as they provide a growth opportunity for MaxQ because they do more than just clinical trials, providing for future boxes to be made. Additionally, they're very liability sensitive. So if the shipper or a box fails, even if it's not necessarily the CRO's fault, they can lose these large pharmaceutical contracts. As you can see, there's close to 8,000 CROs all across the nation. And they combined add up to a $55 million market potential. It is important to note that most of this market potential does come from the very large CROs, which could buy thousands of boxes per year, and the large CROs, which could buy 500 boxes. It's also important to note there is heavy competition for that sector of the market because there's established competition that already has those relationships, as well as provide more boxes, just blood and clinical trials. However, it's the high quality that MaxQ can provide that can help them break into this market despite that. Now, after contacting 80 CROs across the nation, I found that MaxQ needs these exact specifications to break into this market. 2 to 8 degrees Celsius, a 48 to 96 hour duration, as well as complete their pending tracking technology, which give real-time updates via app or website. Additionally, they should market to these CROs using a cost per use metric. Now, their $250 price point is slightly higher than the competition. However, because the box would be reusable for a longer period of time and get more uses out of it, their cost per use metric is at $1.67, very competitive with people such as Pelican Biothermal and some of the other competition that is there today. I also believe MaxQ should offer a 5-box free trial to their 5 largest CROs, and this should be rolled out into 3 phases. The first phase is research and development and the 25-box giveaway. After this point, MaxQ must sell 117 boxes to break even in their first year. In phase 2, that's where MaxQ should focus on selling about 75 boxes to 15 CROs. These obviously are the smaller CROs. Now, using that proof of concept given to them there, as well as the results of the free trial, MaxQ needs to sell about 40 boxes to the largest CROs. However, I believe after they see the quality, they have the capacity to sell around 100 boxes, creating $25,000 in revenue, as well as creating that additional growth opportunity for the large CROs once they're satisfied with the high quality. Moving forward, MaxQ should complete their pending tracking technology, look for licensing partnerships with those CROs who sell equipment to the clinical trials, as well as market at conferences in May. Thank you very much. OFA would like to open it up for questions.
Did you tell me that this woman who's going to organize my house was going to get a profit of $30,000 for the year? As one of my star economics students, could you inform everyone here about the concept called opportunity cost? Is there something else this woman can do with her time and earn more than $30,000 without the headache?
Yeah, so my client Madison is actually here tonight. She's right behind you. And So in this virtual piece that you're kind of requesting to ask about, this is just one of her many service lines. So she also does in-person organizing. She is also working with a partnership with the Container Store. So this is just the additional marginal profit that she can get from this specific service line, but it is not her total profit.
Okay. So, Dr. Holmes, was your question about competitor analysis and if I've considered that throughout this semester? Okay, well, I didn't include it in my presentation. However, I've compared their prices and services with Uber and Lyft. So they differ because SendRide's is like a lot more secure of an option. So they have thoroughly vetted interviewed drivers. Their drives are GPS tracked, and they also have audio recorded rides. And the hospitals actually schedule the rides for the patients, so that like 97% of these services are paid for by the hospitals. And yeah, they're just a lot safer of an option than Uber or Lyft per se, because you're guaranteed to have a driver that's safe and is going to be there for you.
This question is also for SendRide. Why specifically federally funded hospitals and not private hospitals that have specific bond packages for outreach programs like SendRide?
I focused on so you're asking why specifically federally funded hospitals? I focused on federally funded hospitals because that's currently 70% of her clients in Oklahoma right now. I've talked to different hospitals across the state, here and in Texas, but mainly because the hospitals have the freedom to use it on transportation grants. And so, yes, focused on federal hospitals for that reason.
We have time for one more question.